Within the dozens of Marvel movies that have come out, it's quite easy to forget which villain is the most malicious. However, not all villains are the way that they are naturally, as their upbringing may have shaped them in rather atrocious ways. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the utterly messed up origins of these Marvel villains. Oh, by the way, spoilers ahead. Before we begin, please be sure to subscribe to Screen Rant for more awesome content.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Thanos. Not very surprising that the Mad Titan himself would be at the top of this list. His origins weren't sunshines and rainbows, as literally within moments of him being born, his mother tried to murder him. As Thanos was growing up, he was manipulated by Mistress Death to become the ultimate killing machine, one without regret nor hesitation. While just a teenager, Thanos carried out the death of not only innocent animal life and his own classmates, but also his own mother. His journey to figure out what his purpose in life was brought him to father countless children, which he eventually also murdered in order to please Mistress Death. He even wiped out Titan's entire population, which we saw a glimpse of during Infinity War. Although the MCU's portrayal of Thanos may seem tame in comparison, the comic book Thanos is one so devoid of emotion and compassion that his own flesh and blood and even his own people matter not to him. There is little doubt that Thanos is one messed up dude.
Divide and conquer the land estate.
Nah, I learned from my enemies. Beat them at their own game.
You have become them. You will destroy the world, Wakanda included.
The world took everything away from me.
Killmonger. Arguably, Killmonger is one of the most complex and badass of the MCU's villain roster. He made his groundbreaking debut during 2018's Black Panther. At a young age, Eric was unknowingly an heir to the Wakandan throne, as he had lived in New York alongside his father, who was killed by his uncle T'Chaka. You could argue that the real villain in this was T'Chaka, since Killmonger's father wanted to help oppressed people by giving them the gift of vibranium. Not only did Eric's own family abandon him, but they also left him with his father's lifeless body. Eric then grew up and earned the title of Killmonger by killing many, and we mean many, people.
I killed in America, Afghanistan, Iraq. I took life from my own brothers and sisters right here on this continent, just so I could kill you.
This journey to become a lethal killing machine allowed him to not only wipe out Ulysses Klaue, but also to use his body as a ticket to have an audience with his cousin T'Challa. Eric was seen as a monster after killing off Zuri and beating the crap out of T'Challa, even going as far as throwing him off a waterfall. However, Eric had avenged his father and obtained the throne of Wakanda, which would have been a stepping stone for him to carry out his father's goal to help those who were oppressed.
I told you from the moment I met you, there is more to you, Eric. There is good in you too.
Whatever it is you think you saw in me, Charles, I buried it with my family.
Magneto. Eric had a traumatizing childhood early on. He discovered his powers after being separated forcefully from his mother by German officers at Auschwitz. Unfortunately, this brought the attention of Sebastian Shaw, who made a deal with Eric to move a coin with his powers, or his mother would not be spared. After failing to perform the task at hand, Shaw unleashed Magneto's rage by killing his mother right in front of him.
Listen to me very carefully, my friend. Killing Shaw will not bring you peace.
Peace was never an option.
Even after finally killing off Shaw in X-Men First Class, Eric still encountered more pain due to his mutant nature. After moving to a remote country and obtaining another family, he was able to live peacefully for several years. Unfortunately, due to a workplace accident, Eric had no choice but to use his powers to save a fellow co-worker. Ironically enough, the humanity and compassion Eric had showed due to Professor X's influence was the cause for Eric to lose what he loved. You would think losing his family the first time was bad enough, but no, Eric lost his family a second time too.
I could have done it, Father! I could have done it! For you! For all of us!
No, Loki.
Loki. By far one of the most well-liked villains within the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the god of mischief, Loki. Although one would think living peacefully throughout most of his childhood was a godsend compared to the other villains on this list, Loki still had to overcome several hardships. For instance, Loki always saw himself as nothing more than Thor's shadow, as he was praised to be the next heir to the Asgardian throne. Furthermore, Odin gave Loki the illusion that he truly was his father, which Loki later found out that he was actually the child of frost giants. Loki sought nothing more than being accepted as the king of Asgard and his own person, rather than being alienated and cast away due to not being like his brother Thor.
All I ever wanted was you and Odin dead at my feet.
Even so, Loki has found it fitting to save the day in more than one occasion. Maybe he isn't such a villain after all.
You are deluded, Captain. You pretend to be a simple soldier, but in reality, you are just afraid to admit that we have left humanity behind.
Red Skull. Johann Schmidt had a very grim childhood, as his mother died while giving birth, and his own father tried to drown him. Eventually, he encountered his idol, Adolf Hitler. Red Skull soon became one of the top SS officers within the Nazi army. The main reason Red Skull is so messed up is not only due to his strong ambitions to be a Nazi, but also because Adolf Hitler found him to be too powerful. Even other top Nazi officers thought Red Skull's evil surpassed that of the Führer. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain America's debut in the powerful Hydra organization would not have come to fruition if it wasn't for Red Skull's plan to utilize the powers of the Tesseract. During the late 90s, DC Comics and Marvel Comics crafted a crossover where Gotham's vigilante worked alongside the Super Soldier in attempts to stop the menacing duo of the Joker and the Red Skull. Surprisingly enough, this dream team was short-lived, since after realizing Red Skull was a Nazi, the Joker wanted nothing to do with him.
So sad.
Shut up.
So sad.
Not sad, you idiot. I'm pissed off.
Oh.
The Hulk. Huh? But isn't the Hulk a hero? Is what you might be asking. Although the Hulk has fought Thor, Wolverine, and several other heroes before, he usually always stayed on the good side of things. Unfortunately, this was not the case in one future world. Fans who watched the conclusion to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in 2017's Logan film may know that the comic book run Old Man Logan was a big inspiration for the film's setting. Bruce Banner within this reality had the same backstory, although his path took a drastic turn. The Hulk was driven mad due to the gamma radiation in his body affecting his mind to the point that Bruce was no longer sane. Hulk became so deranged he inbreeded with the She-Hulk to the point dozens of Hulk's own children were running around eating human flesh. Luckily enough, however, Logan put a stop to this twisted family.
Make a better world.
It will be better.
When everyone is dead.
That is not... The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
Ultron. After Tony Stark realized that there were too many mishaps going on in the world for the Avengers to get involved, he, alongside Bruce Banner, decided to create Ultron. Ironically enough, this AI that was meant to protect the world thought that mankind was crucial to eliminate just by surfing the internet for a few minutes. Ultron saw only the negatives within mankind, and even those who were innocent, that were young, or had no wrongdoings were targeted for Ultron's extinction plan. Even so, Ultron didn't care. He wanted every single human dead, no matter their affiliation, genetic makeup, or background. Within the comics, Ultron was successful in wiping out the Avengers and defeating them several times.
Few have attained direct communication with Galactus. You are unlikely to survive, regrettably. But Galactus hungers, and Galactus must feed.
Galactus. Galactus was not always the gigantic cosmic power-wielding force of nature who we have yet to see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Due to the Marvel multiverse constantly undergoing cycles of rebirth and death, Galen's species was pushed to extinction. At the death of his universe, Galen of Ta was the only one left, but in order to survive, he absorbed the energy of the cosmos to become Galactus. This would bring not only immense power to him, but also a huge appetite. But what does Galactus get cravings for? Entire freaking planets? Due to his never-ending hunger, Galactus had to replenish himself by killing billions, if not trillions of people and consuming their homeworlds. However, seeking food brought him trouble, as the Fantastic Four and the Avengers would be there to impede him from destroying the Earth. One can argue that Galactus is merely just doing his job by maintaining a balance between creation and destruction and ensuring his own survival. But regardless, he probably has a higher body count than anyone else on this list.
Avengers. I hope they remember you.
No!
So, what do you think? Which of these characters had the most messed up origins or performed the worst deeds? Are there any characters that you would have wished to see? Please let us know in the comment section below and subscribe to Screen Rant for more awesome content. Thanks!